New tonight, a cannabis bunker bust in Anderson. We'll show you how investigators made the discovery.
Plus, a big boost today restoring funding for the Glenn Medical Center. We'll tell you about the bill that just passed the House.
And we're learning more about the new Forest Service station in the works in Chico, on track to add local fire protection by year's end.
Covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
New developments tonight. Construction is now underway on a new U.S. Forest Service fire station in Chico. It'll be located on the east side of the city on Skyway, just down the road from the Butte County Sheriff's Search and Rescue Building.
Action News Now reporter Sade Pullen joins us now live from the site. So Sade, the station will provide a big boost toward fire response capabilities.
Yes, Haley, that's correct. And they're also still continuing their construction. They're currently in their vertical phase, which means they're going to start putting up the walls on this station. Now, Justine Zenny, the project manager, also tells me that the vertical phase also includes putting up beams, columns, and roofs. Zenny says once completed, the station will also have a engine garage, training room, and indoor shop. This station broke ground in 2024. And it was expected to be done sooner, but there have been some delays.
There are always delays in construction projects with weather, material deliveries, and things like that, but we're working really well with our contractor to make things happen and get this construction project built. So you'll start seeing more of the shape of the building. Right now you can't see that, but you will see that in the coming weeks.
Zenny says contractors just paved the driveway and the building footprints are ready. The station will also house the Feather River Hot Shot crew, so rooms for sleeping and living will also be a part of the project as well. Now, the new fire station is expected to be complete by winter 2026. Reporting live in Chico, Sade Pullen, Action News Now.
Thanks, Sade. Since the town of Paradise has an agreement with CAL FIRE Butte County, and so does the Forest Service, crews stationed there will assist if a fire breaks out in Paradise, too.
A fire burned through a home, causing significant damage in Orville this morning. Now, CAL FIRE says the house on Oro Bangor Highway near Lincoln Street was fully engulfed in flames when they arrived just after 7. Officials say 3 adults and 2 children were in the home but escaped unharmed. The building is still standing, but the inside was significantly damaged, and the cause of this fire is still under investigation.
U.S. Senator Adam Schiff announced a new bipartisan health funding agreement that would restore Glenn Medical Center's federal critical access status. He was in Willows today to talk about the legislation, which passed the House today and is up for a vote in the Senate next week. Senator Schiff worked with the late Congressman Doug LaMalfa on the measure. Action News Now reporter Bea Barbosa joined Schiff on a tour of Glenn Medical today.
For our patients, family, and neighbors, thank you for trusting us. This is our final call for Glenn Medical Center Emergency Room. After 76 years of service, GMC clear, 1,900 hours.
It's been nearly 4 months since the Glenn Medical Center Emergency Room had to close its doors, leaving the county without an ER.
People are dying because Glenn Medical is closed. I mean, there's just absolutely no question.
The closure was due to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services revoking the hospital's critical access hospital designation because it was fewer than 35 miles from Colusa Medical Center. After working on legislation with the late Congressman Doug LaMalfa, Senator Adam Schiff toured Glenn Medical Center and sat down with local leaders and hospital administrators to learn what else needs to be done to reopen the hospital. At 32.4 miles apart, Glenn Medical Center was determined to be about 2.5 miles too close to the nearest hospital. But some in the community say that calculation is based on a route that might not always be available due to frequent flooding of area roads.
They're not going to make it, and that's what the fear is. And I haven't heard that we had that realization yet. Thank you, but it's going to be here. And when it does, we have to look at it. Is one life acceptable? That's the question that has to be asked and answered. It's no.
But getting this bill passed won't immediately bring the hospital's ER back to life. Because of the closure, reopening the facility means it has to meet newer standards, like the size of a room, which the facility as it stands now would not meet.
There's a lot of upgrades that are necessary, and one of the things that we'll have to explore if we can get this designation back is how do we put together the money to either rebuild this hospital or build a new one. But whichever way we move forward, there needs to be a hospital here.
Schiff says it will be up to the community and local leaders about whether to remodel or rebuild the hospital. In Willows, Bea Barbosa, Action News Now.
Hospital administrators say rebuilding Glenn Medical would cost about $100 million.
A car fire completely shut down southbound traffic on Highway 99 in Chico late this afternoon. Now, this is how it looks right now. The traffic is moving much better than we saw just an hour ago. You can see it is flowing there southbound. A little slow, sure, but it was almost stopped an hour ago. We'd have calls out to the CHP and to Chico Fire. We're working to get more information about what caused that car fire.
We also have time-lapse video from earlier today from Shasta Dam. Blue skies overhead, gorgeous blue, and the mountain way out there in the distance. Still plenty of snow on Mount Shasta today.
Yeah, and Howie joins us now with a look at the conditions as we head into this Thursday night. Still, we should be expecting some fog tonight, I expect.
I think we can see it. I don't think it's going to be as widespread. I don't think it's going to be as dense because we'll get to the winds in a second. That's going to help reduce it, and we'll talk all about that. First thing, temperature's not too bad today. You saw some areas of some sunshine, making it not too bad. We're dropping down into the 50s in the valley at the moment. 30s and 40s as we cool, as we sit in the mountains. All right, we're back to the fog now. Here's our visibilities at the moment. Not too bad. I talked about it a second ago. So with our winds picking up, fog sometimes, especially the fog we're seeing, doesn't like winds. It likes to scour things out, changing temperature, changing moisture levels. So that helps. Plus, we've seen low pressure storms moving through, eliminating that inversion layer that's been trapping the fog. So I don't think it's going to be as bad. So I think we're on the up and up in terms of fog, and we'll see probably some sunnier conditions and eventually fog returning. We'll talk all about that in a few minutes.
Thanks, Howie.
Today, a jury found Francisco Gutierrez Gomez guilty of attempted rape and assault during a home invasion. The Chico man was also convicted of assault with a deadly weapon and enhancements following a 2-week trial. The young woman who survived the attack testified that back in May of 2024, Gutierrez Gomez showed up at her North Chico apartment around 3 in the morning, shirtless and wearing a ski mask. He tried to strangle her, smother her with a pillow, and he hit her repeatedly in the head with a rock. But she fought back, and she won. When he ran off, he left a knife and a hat behind, containing DNA evidence that helped get that conviction. He'll be sentenced on February 20th, and he faces at least 11 years to life in prison.
Now take a look at this. The CHP says it found an underground bunker full of illegal guns during a raid of a marijuana grow in Anderson. They say they found access to it through a 100-foot-long culvert. It was equipped with power, ventilation, concrete floor, and drainage. They say they found 13 guns, some of them stolen, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. Officers arrested Michael Kamfolt on several charges.
New tonight, One Safe Place Shasta is back open for walk-in services after several months of construction. The center on Benton Drive in Reading offers resources for victims of family violence, sex assault, and other types of abuse. Action News Now reporter Blake Mayfield shows us the help available.
After a bathtub overflowed on the night of September 14th last year, $84,000 worth of damage had been done to the One Safe Place building.
Lots of ceiling tiles that had to be replaced, flooring, paint on the walls. It was a significant undertaking.
But with the help of an insurance payout, One Safe Place was able to open back up on Tuesday.
It gave us an opportunity to really reflect on the use of our space. And so coming back into that, we're reconsidering how the rooms that we have are utilized.
Things like new flooring, lights, and paint color are some of the noticeable changes when you first walk in. With the help of insurance money and grant funding, One Safe Place was able to purchase new furniture for its office, which is currently being stored in these shipping containers. With 18 staff members now back into the Benton Drive building, One Safe Place is now
looking forward to just low barrier access to care and a soft place to land and a safe place for victims in our community.
Reporting in Reading, I'm Blake Mayfield, Action News Now.
If you've been a victim of domestic violence, spousal abuse, or any other form of abuse, you can sign up for help from One Safe Place. Go to our website, actionnewsnow.com, and click on the News Links tab.
New at 6, a family of 4 was hospitalized after picking and eating wild mushrooms in Sacramento County. Health officials believe this to be the county's first cases tied to the deadly death cap, or western destroying angel mushrooms. We've reported earlier this month of the statewide mushroom illness outbreak, with at least 35 people hospitalized and 3 deaths. But those cases were mostly in Monterey and San Francisco Bay Area. Public health officers warn wild mushrooms can stay toxic even after cooking, and say that the safest choice is to only buy mushrooms from trusted stores.
Here tonight, the California Civil Rights Department says it's reached a settlement with the Yuba City Unified School District over allegations of severe anti-Black discrimination and harassment at 2 of the district's elementary schools. The settlement requires mandatory training for teachers and administrators, community meetings, and an assessment of the school's climates. The district must pay $30,000 to the family that filed the complaint. The CRD director said in part that students have the right to feel safe, and teachers, administrators, and staff are responsible for making that happen. We reached out to the district superintendent to find out the plan to implement the changes, and we will keep you posted.
New tonight, deputies with the Tehama County Major Crimes Force arrested a man on drug, gun, and theft charges. They say Ricky Eusted is connected to an ongoing drug sales investigation, and they say they found meth and stolen property when they searched his house. He was booked into the Tehama County Jail.
Vitalant is asking you to roll up a sleeve and help restock the blood supply. They especially need Type O blood. The Winter Classic Blood Drive begins Saturday in Redding at the Mount Shasta Mall parking lot from 10 to 1. And then Saturday the 31st, the Bloodmobile will be in Chico in front of Beck's Shoes by Trader Joe's. If you give blood, you do have a chance to win a $500 gift card. Go to our website and click on the News Links tab to sign up. New at 6, Whiskeytown Recreation Area is asking for your help on rebuilding its environmental school. We'll show you how to make your voice heard.
Plus, hundreds of students from several schools got to learn some new skills in construction today. We'll show you the event at the Silver Dollar Fairgrounds.